Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 10, episode 11. It keeps listen, I'm trying to be really don't think of Scandival, but all
Oh,
I can
I'm
think about
full
is
on.
Scandival.
I think if we hadn't found out, now is when we'd really be questioning things.
Yeah, this is
I
weird.
didn't think that
It's
there'd be
all
these many
weird.
detail, like true details now. Before we were just grasping at straws, like it's here.
It's just, yeah. I also, do we think they like re-edited at all to get
Yes,
like the little
yes.
Easter eggs? This
I've
is it.
decided they've re-edited it. There's no way they would do an hour and 15 episodes normally.
Also, I caught the end of the not before scene footage and saw the pool part where like Raquel and Sandoval are in the pool together in Mexico. And it
Whoa.
wasn't bad, but like, so the two of them and Ariana were in a pool or in like a hot tub.
Yeah.
And like Schwartz was taking pictures of the three of them naked. And like Ariana was just like, it looks like we're in a weird throuple. And they like laughed and it just looks weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Jeez.
I'm done. Okay. What are we doing? What we have to do the intro before we
I'm
so
just blown. My
check
mind's
us out
blown.
on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer's Fun, a Summer House podcast, and we have One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Man, did we get fucking reviews? We are mediocre at best. So let's get into it. Um, we got one from 12765 Ray, and it's titled "It's All Right." It's 3 stars. I don't know why "It's All Right" makes me laugh, but
Oh.
this person says this podcast is nice to listen to while cleaning, but both hosts are incredibly biased and skew things to their perspective. In the most recent episode, the girls called James a psycho, which is not the good proper word choice.
Yeah.
I know that, but it was a moment. Sorry. The review continues and says, in this situation, a drunk man came up to James and physically grabbed him. James shoved the man. The hosts call Ariana a queen for getting mad at James for shoving the other guy. Like, if it was a girl, no one would be calling her a psycho for not wanting to be touched and pushed by a drunk guy off her. Dude, that's comparing to me apples to oranges. It's like the
I
same
agree.
kind of food, but it's not the fucking same. Also, Ariana and James are two totally different personalities.
She's a queen
Um,
for being like, let it die.
we're not fighting at the wedding.
Yeah.
James tends to take things a step too far, and he did not let it go. Was what was so crazy to me was he was just sitting at the table, still
Yeah.
like that
But like two
dude.
wrongs don't make a right. So like
Yeah, yeah,
James
yeah.
getting physical when this other guy got physical, not
It's
great.
not right. Yeah. So thank you for listening to us while you clean.
Also,
Sorry we
I
have
will
opinions.
I will totally bias this my own podcast with
Yeah,
my own
we
opinions.
literally aren't gonna do this neutrally. Like imagine if we just
Absolutely
gave
not.
facts.
That just ain't me. That just
Um
ain't me. Oh, that's what's
okay.
funny is we've gotten the note that we don't give good takes, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? I feel like we've made it because we have critiques. Like I feel like it's
Yeah,
finally
like
secure. I'm
a
getting negative reviews, and I feel secure about it.
this person. I mean, fine. If you didn't like that one scenario, I'm sorry that we were biased. But when you find a moment where our biases worked for you, let us know, I guess. Um, okay, our next review is from Who Cares Whatever 69.
this this is my
And
favorite.
it's titled What? Well, not a question mark. Sorry. It's titled What? And it says Why? And that's it.
Thank you.
I thank you so
Thank you
much.
for showing
Thanks
up.
for your feedback. We enjoy the 1 star. We'll live in this forever. Okay, and then Jojo New Fire gave us 5 stars and did title it Lighten Up on Lala. And then says, can't blame her for not wanting to be in the presence of a bimbo Barbie for the whole 3 days of the wedding. You're right. You're not wrong.
I
She's
know
not
what she
wrong.
shouldn't have done is promise Sheena she would be
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. She should have
That's where
said,
the error
let me see
is.
how I'm feeling.
Yes.
and then gone from there.
As
And
Alicia and I spent our entire 2 pre-shows this week bitching about bachelorette parties we have to go to. Wedding stuff is stressful.
Wedding shoots a lot. Okay. And then we're not sure incredibly what app this is called, but it's for Android users and it reviews podcasts. And we did get a review on there.
Background, we I think only get Apple ones. So if you are leaving reviews and we are not finding them, feel free to DM them to us.
This is also from our patron Sarah, who's in Australia, so that also might be a thing. But Sarah said she gave us 5 stars and said, "This is how recap podcasts are meant to be. If you're new to VPR and want to listen to a recap podcast, this is light, funny, and most importantly, spoiler free. Then Alicia and Meredith have got your back. I'd give it more than 5 stars if I could." Oh my God.
Talk about a girl who our biases work for.
Got her back. She got her back. And for that, just in this week, oh, well, let's get into it. Okay, great. Those are all our reviews. Leave us 5 stars or don't leave us anything.
We'll still be here.
Bitches. Or leave us 3 stars. Tell us how mediocre we are. Anyway, also follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our really fun pre-shows. You can hear about how Meredith and I discovered we're going to be in the same city this weekend.
It's incredible.
For 2 separate bachelorette
It's really
parties.
sad that we didn't know that, considering we talk multiple times a week.
Yeah. We don't go into details. We're high level. Anyway, also, you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. This was recorded right after the episode. It'll be dropped on the Patreon right after the episode. Okay, for $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and we watch old seasons, we want to do those spoiler free, as the review said. So we have an after show where we talk about all Bravo news as to not leave you hanging. Also, we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Aisha, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelly, Kelsey, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Amy, April, Courtney, Emily, Gina, Jennifer H, Jennifer T, Kirsten, Ruby, Taylor, and Tiffany.
Woohoo!
Yes. Success. Welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, and then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we do live shows, we will post in the Patreon or on our feed or whatever, and we will ask for your questions, concerns, opinions, whatever, and you give it to us and we read it live on the podcast. Yeah, so do that. Great.
Join
we have
us.
A lot from last week we got to talk about. And also we'll pick a patron of the episode. So because we saw the review, I'm going to give it to Sarah.
Woohoo! Thanks for sending it to us too. We really
Sarah,
appreciate. So she literally DM'd us and said, "I'm so sorry about the bad reviews lately."
Yeah, you know what? Thank you so much. It really doesn't hurt my feelings, but I appreciate you caring enough to.
It gets to my feelings sometimes, but it this time no.
I have none. Okay, great. I think that's it. Should we do podcast by the people from last week?
Yes, I've been waiting all week actually to get thoughts on last week's episode.
Ready? So Tracy says, oh no, this was about, sorry, hang on. Tracy says, I love James putting Tom, wait, did I read this? Putting Tom in his place. He had no right to come over to James and talk about how Tom made out with his ex-fiance. Oh yeah, I think we did talk about this. Tracy, you got us right after the episode. I fucking forgot. So sorry. Okay, moving on. Tracy, you're a star. Anyway, we got Sarah. Sarah says, overall, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it so much that I watched it twice. There was so much to enjoy about this, both in terms of drama, feel-good vibes, and Scandal Easter eggs. Speaking of Scandal Easter eggs, things that Rachel had the audacity to do last week, you know. Describing Schwartz's kisses all romantic styles.
I can't.
Even though Schwartz has been a douche nugget this episode, he's too good for it.
I can't imagine like kissing. I have kissed people and told Alicia about it, and I could not imagine telling you it was like so soft and like sweet. I feel like you come to me, like fly to Illinois and punch me in the face just for doing that.
I just tell you if it's good or bad.
Yeah, like, no, we just talk about how awkward it is. First kisses are weird. Let's all be honest.
Yeah, they're not romantic, soft.
No.
Okay, 2, saying that Schwartz made her feel giddy and speculating that maybe they have something. Fool. Absolute fool.
It's dumb.
3, saying it's okay to kiss Schwartz because Katie already hates her. This honestly shows her immaturity. She's 28. She shouldn't be this immature. Agreed. Okay.
She's 28.
28. She's our age.
No.
Yeah.
You're lying to me.
No,
I
how
thought
old-
she was like 25.
She was like 25, 8 years ago.
I cannot
3.
imagine doing this to someone even I hate.
No, our brains have fully developed by 25. In 28, we have plenty of time to learn. We're here.
I was still thinking she's in her early 20s, like, this
No,
is the time to make mistakes.
I think she started dating James at 21.
Alicia,
How old
I
is?
am shocked.
Yeah, she's 28.
No.
She was born. Oh my God. She was born like 2 months before me.
Shut up. That means she's about to be 29
Yeah, she's gonna be 29
this year. I can't.
Could you
wow.
imagine being like the most hated person on Bravo before you're even 30? That's wild.
Wow. I was like,
Wild.
I've been giving her more passes of like, oh, the young dumb, because I did a lot of stupid shit like when I was younger. I can't imagine
She's not
Alicia
that
like
young.
kissing
I'm not
someone.
that shocked. You're alone.
Oh my God.
You're alone.
Wow. Okay,
I'm
let's
not that
move on
shocked.
because I'm just gonna be over here.
Okay, 4, wearing sunglasses indoors at night. 5, wearing sunglasses outside at night. Yeah, fucking take the sunglasses off. I'm sick of this. How do you
I feel like I'm gonna be doing that all weekend because I don't want to make eye contact with people. So
at night?
yeah.
At 28, our eyesight starts to go.
That is
We
also
can't
true.
See. 6, saying that Lala was too chicken to come to the rehearsal dinner. Yeah, fuck you, Raquel.
I can't.
7, laughing with Sandoval about Lala not being there. Goodbye. 8, saying that Schwartz's minimization was a little like heartbreaking. Like, no, bitch. Yeah, no. When he was like, what we have is like not that big. And remember, she was like, he's minimizing
It's
it.
also like, one, again, what is a first kiss? It doesn't mean you're gonna get married. What did you expect here? And you literally just banged Sandoval like 2 weeks ago. So
also, did you even ask Schwartz like what do you want? Because it doesn't sound like he wants a relationship. So why didn't you fucking just ask him at 28?
How is that shocking that after he gets divorced, he doesn't really want to like get back into a relationship?
Can you believe? Okay, 9, being all about as a pageant walker, as a model. Oh. Someone please tell me when she was a model. It's called Pageant. No, it's called a pageant walker. It's a model pageant girl.
I think you should call her like McQueen, a little pageant queen.
No, we're not putting queen in front of her name.
That's true.
Shut up, Meredith.
Title. You're right. You're right.
10, acting all confused about why Schwartz is backing away from her. Girl, it's because he's a coward, but also you're a liar. Yeah, I don't know why she's shocked.
That's true. Like, he is, now that you're in his inner circle, he's gonna treat you like how he treats Katie. We always say that,
screw you.
Like, there is somebody in my life where we always say like that person, the closer you are to them, the worse they treat you. Like, you want to be their like somewhat outer circle friendship, not their inner circle. And Schwartz is that way. The closer you are to him, the worse he treats you.
Agreed.
If you're a female and not Sandoval.
Of course. Yeah. If you're a female he's attracted to and he might have feelings for, he's gonna screw you. Okay, so there was a lot on that list, but luckily the next list is shorter, but maybe even sketchier. Things that Sandoval had the audacity to do this week. 1, yelling Raquel, like a little drunk boy with a crush. Gross.
Yeah.
2, the grin he gives Rachel. Gross. 3, the way he's right in her face. Gross. 4, giving her Schwartz's room key. This felt so much like deliberate attention-seeking technique to me. Yes. This was a way for him to back it up, for him to be like, see, we're not sleeping together.
No, I think it was a way to challenge her to be like, oh, like you like Schwartz, like go after his room. And it's like, then he would have been upset. No, she wouldn't have taken that key from him. Like, so she was probably into Sandoval.
I forget what podcast it was on, but someone asked Lala that, like, do you think he was jealous? Do you think he was testing her? Do you think like he's upset that like Raquel's hooking up with Schwartz and he just has to go with it. And she was like, no, I think he just thought it was funny they got away with it. And he was going to keep pushing it because if everyone thought that Raquel was hooking up with Schwartz, that means Sandoval had a clear go at Raquel and no one would know.
Did you see that video of Sheena sitting down with her wedding dressmakers and one of them saw Sandoval and Raquel kiss at the wedding?
Yeah, and they
but
were
they
like,
thought it was Schwartz because they didn't know them well enough.
The one guy was like, I'm telling you, we didn't know. We didn't know who it was. I mean, it could have been either.
Like this, that was so out in the open. How gross.
So funny. 5, the next morning being Ariana's little spoon. He doesn't deserve it. No, I would love to be spooned by Ariana. So fuck you, sir. 6, waking up with the lightning bolt necklace on. Has Raquel? I haven't seen Raquel in it yet. 7, going to dinner with the lightning bolt necklace on. I'm not convinced he's showered. And 8, laughing with Rachel about Lala not being at the rehearsal dinner. Yeah, fuck him. Okay. So enough of that. Here are my other notes for the episode. Katie's reaction to Schwartz kissing Raquel. Perhaps my Katie cup is a little full at this moment because I'm starting to have trouble reconciling how severely she's reacting to it. Please, girls, clarify for me. So I think Schwartz has never been a good partner. I think Schwartz, it seems, was the one that wanted the friendship after the divorce. So Katie said, here's the one thing we have to do if we want to be friends. You cannot hook up with other girls in our friend group. And Schwartz seemed good for that. They divorced. He then goes behind Katie's back and does the exact thing she told him not to.
After telling her he wasn't and nothing was happening.
Yeah, after like gaslighting her. And then I think she's hurt more than anything, but she's mad that he can't even be like, I'm sorry I did that, or like I shouldn't have done that. Instead, he like yells at her and makes it her fault. That is, I think just, like, the reason
the Katie cup is full too is because we've spent like 5 episodes talking about this. Like, we're kind of desensitized to like how distressing this would be if it happened to any one of us. Like, I do kind of feel like this storyline is played out. So when it finally happened, it's like, all right, it happened. Like, we already knew it was going to happen going into the season.
Yeah.
Like, we've been hearing this for like 9 months. I think we're over it, but that doesn't take away how hurtful that would be in the 4 months that this has been filmed.
Yeah. Okay, Ariana going to the pool topless was hyped up by the previews to being a big thing, but it was a nothing sandwich. Actually, it was less than a nothing sandwich. It was a nothing Oreo. You know what? The word Oreo is too good for it. The whole thing was a nothing cracker. Yeah. Nothing happened.
Cracker. I think there's probably more footage that makes it like a spicier event in just normal life, but they didn't use it. So it is dumb that they included it into the trailer.
Yeah. Okay, the spa the girls went to looked incredible. I'd go to Mexico just for the spa. Tom Schwartz talking to James and calling himself what is this word? Facious? I'm an idiot.
Facetious?
Facetious. Fuck, I'm so stupid, you guys.
No, you're good. I don't think I would know if that's spelled out. I don't know if I'd be able to get it.
Just looking at it, I forgot what the word is.
Facetious. That is the word. We couldn't remember when we recorded.
Yeah, because it was live. I didn't write it down. That is exactly the right word for him. Look up facetious in the dictionary. You'll see a photo of Tom Schwartz. Look, I'm an idiot. I don't even know what this means.
Okay, ready? Treating a serious issue with deliberately inappropriate humor, being flippant.
Oh my God, that's him. Oh my God, he's flipping his shit.
I think a lot of times it's good to think of it similar to sarcasm, but just at an inappropriate time.
Yeah. Okay, dope. Yeah, that's Tom Schwartz. Okay, our Lisa sighting this week was again about the Toms. I'm curious to know, girls, whose story do you believe, Greg's or the Toms? The Greg's.
After this episode, Greg's.
I'm shocked that they haven't got the food sorted when they had at least 2 food tastings. True, I don't know how these things work, but isn't it straightforward? They ate food, they liked food, they picked food. I also wonder whether Greg is doing all these things he claims to be doing. He might think he is, but sometimes when you believe you're training someone, there's assumed knowledge. Hang on. You believe you're training someone, there's assumed knowledge. Period.
Yeah.
It's possible that Greg is saying to do A, And by that, he means A, B, and C. However, the Toms don't know what they don't know. So they hear A and they just do A. Anyways, I'm unsure about the situation. Who do you believe? I believe Greg. I think that the Toms, though are idiots, such as myself, I think we can always learn new things. And they watched Ken and Lisa do it from like a high level. Like they know what has to get done.
That explanation about like the Greg issue, there's probably definitely some of that happening where like they don't fully realize the scope of what needs to be done. But at the same time, when you choose to take on a majority stake of this restaurant, then you need to be asking more questions, and you need to say like, okay, if you're saying we need the menu completed, I'm going to do these 3 things. Is that everything we need to do? Like,
Yeah.
Be proactive in your own restaurant. Like, I think the Toms are big picture people, and they want to say like, okay, yeah, we ate the food's good. And that's enough for them to like be like, we signed off on it. It's good to us. But somebody's got to, and we see it this episode with Brett, like somebody's got to write out the menu and all the ingredients, price it out, like make sure everything, like make sure they have training materials for, the people who work in the back of house. Like there's so much to do. And I think like the Toms need to take more accountability for like their role in this restaurant.
Agreed. Okay. Was Sheena wearing a robe with Brock's name embroidered on it? I definitely saw Rock and could see that there was a letter in front of the R, but I couldn't make it out what it was to be. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we watched it so fast. Possibly.
I don't remember.
Tom Schwartz dismissing Rachel with a high five felt like the action of an immature man who regrets what he did and wants to ghost her with ghosting her. Again, are we surprised? I really wish James would get over this whole Rachel situation at this point. I'm honestly a bit tired, or how he's going to put it. Poor Allie. She smiles because she doesn't know what to do about it. She's playing up with it much better than I would. I don't think Allie cares, truthfully.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, she's over it. Undoubtedly, you've covered Sheena's dress. I thought it was beautiful. I also loved her first dance with Brock and them doing it, the dirty dancing lift. That shit is hard. Kudos to them. However, can we talk about the grief that Lala has gotten when she wasn't even in the bridal party? I thought for sure she was a bridesmaid, the way everyone was carrying on. I do too. Again, I get it. She told Sheena, I'm going to do all this shit, and then didn't do it.
I just told my direct report this week, under promise, over deliver. Yes, in all aspects of life.
Always, including us. Katie and Christina watching Sheena's wedding. From the trailers and previews, they showed Katie looking down on it like she's an even queen, glaring down at Snow White at the beginning of a movie. But actually, she was so good about the whole thing. I was very pleased with her for that. Yeah, she did good. I loved it.
Yeah.
I think I heard that Jax and Brittany were at the wedding, so I looked for them, but alas, nothing. No, Bravo cut them out like it was their job, because it is. A direct quote from Allie at Sheena's reception. Lala, like, I'm never getting married again. Big eyes emoji. Oh, hang on. Wait, a direct quote from Allie at Sheena's wedding. Lala's like, I'm never getting married again. Oh, so Lala's said that she's never getting married again. That's fair. Great. Good. Don't get married. By the way, the Japanese restaurant is called Himitsu. Himitsu means secret in Japanese.
Ooh. Interesting.
Ooh, there was a secret. Okay. I could write a lot here about Schwartz and his emotional immaturity and how he's a bit of an asshole. And I really feel like there's a side of him that he doesn't really show to the camera, but I've had enough of him at this point. He's cute, he's charming, he's ultimately going to save himself first. Yeah, I think that's his problem, right? He's cute, he's charming, but he's gonna screw you. He's gonna be rude to you. He's gonna not care.
And you always think you're not gonna be the one he screws over.
Yeah. Okay, Rachel and Lala's conversation at the end. I think there was a bit dodgy editing here. At the beginning, they're speaking very loudly. Then suddenly they're speaking normally. And if you pay attention to the background, you can see people cleaning the floors and tidying up after the reception. Then there's a few moments where they're back talking loudly and there are more people around. And then they're talking normally again. Dodgy editing, maybe a refilm, but definitely dodgy editing.
The audio was really bad at the beginning of their conversation. I did notice that, but that happens. I mean, I'm not shocked when they clip things down.
I'm sure
the back and forth is the annoying part with the people in the background, but
yeah. Okay, it's late at night. I'm tired. Y'all are busy. I hope all your plans go really well this week. Thank you so much. We are still doing them. Okay. Tonette says, Recently started watching VPR, caught up on the current season, but wanted more. So I'm watching season 9. Oh, tragic.
Oh, so
And
sorry.
Schwartz is a pussy ass baby bitch. Sandoval is controlling, narcissistic, so it makes sense why he's with Raquel, who appears to need reminding to breathe, let alone a control free stream. So she's submissive. I also think Peter is nice looking. I do too. Outside source who knows nothing about his previous tactics. Tonette, there are no previous tactics. Okay, he's fucking perfect. And so super sweet, who allowed Raquel to think for herself and do what she wanted to do, but she didn't like Peter because she seemingly knows she has little to no thoughts inside her head and thrives on someone telling her what to do.
Well, and he can't like push her up. Like,
yeah,
he's not really on the show.
Peter's a Z-list
Yeah.
manager. Yeah, he's not doing anything.
Her social climbing will be, no offense to him, will be a down climb. Like,
yeah. Sandoval takes advantage of Schwartz and Schwartz takes it. This has to be one of the most mentally destructive friendships I've ever seen. Sandoval put him on the sidecar for God's sake, and no part of Sandoval respects Schwartz or thinks of him as an equal. It's so fucking sickening to watch. With all that, I'm sucked in and cannot wait to watch all the seasons. Yay! Oh my God, Tonette, are you a newbie?
Welcome.
Oh my God, Tonette, Vanderpump Rules is the way to go. Let me know what you think of season 2.
Avoid season 8 until you have to. Like, don't go back and go to 1 and then.
But you should watch it because that's where James and Katie become okay, and it's James's apology tour, so it's like fine in that sense. Okay, last one. Tyranny says, "You ladies said all my feelings during your recap, but wanted to say this. Tequila Katie was a reaction from the emotional abuse that Schwartz gave her for 12 years. I completely feel like the wool has been lifted from my eyes when it comes to Schwartz. The way he flipped the script when Katie wasn't going to explode showed it. Did anyone else notice Katie's reaction when he did? On one side, it was nothing new for her, but on the other, it was so shocking he was acting that way in public. Katie handled the whole situation beautifully, and from the clip I saw of next week, she continues with it. Good for her."
Hell yeah.
I agree. Good for Katie. So then she says, "Sheena and Brock's wedding was beautiful and looked like it was so much fun. As I think now, I'm not a huge fan of hers, but I will give credit where credit is due. I'm also still loving the budding friendship of Katie and James. I hope it continues. I watch What Happens Live with Lala, and Andy and Lala hinted about the final episode, and Ariana talking to Raquel will disturb us."
Yeah.
I'm already disturbed.
I've heard about this, and to be honest, I'm not ready to I just go out and see what people are saying about it. It's wild. Yeah.
Thanks to the Bravo fans. The rumor is that Ariana comes to Rachel and said she's suspecting Sandoval of cheating. Rachel fucking hugs her and says, "I'm here for you." You bitch. I hated you before, but this just continues to prove that she has zero remorse, empathy, and is a huge liar. I also listened to Sheena's podcast, Shenanigans, with Lala, and they discussed the court hearing and the reunion. Poor Sheena. She just kept saying that she doesn't know Rachel, and she's mourning the loss of the friendship with Raquel. She basically said that they're two different people. Mind blown. Have a great week.
It's wild.
I love that. Yeah, fuck that. But keep listening to Shenanigans. Go Sheena. Okay, let's get into this episode now. That was a lot. Thank you so much.
Let's do it.
But yes, I like it at the end better. I know. But I know what we're doing. I know.
Yeah, it's a tricky week.
Previously on Vanderpump Rules, the girls took a trip to Vegas. And Raquel made out with Oliver, who was technically not separated from his wife, but said he was separated. The Toms want to open on the 31st, but Greg's not down. Raquel and Lala are beefing from Vegas. Schwartz was super rude to Katie, and she's done. And Raquel and Schwartz kissed at the wedding, and Katie's about to let fucking loose. So we see Sheena and Brock writing wedding thank yous. We see James and Allie unpacking from Mexico. And James does think Schwartz and Raquel might date, but Allie doesn't think so. Then we go to Schwartz's apartment. Katie's here to get the dogs. It's awkward. Schwartz starts to vent about how they don't have kitchen staff, and Katie's like, "That sounds awful. Bye," and then leaves.
She does the polite thing. Like, she doesn't roast him, isn't rude to him. She just says that's awful and leaves. And I love how she handled that.
I loved it. She's like, bye.
She's not taking on his emotional baggage anymore. She shouldn't have to, especially when he's not going to be a good friend to her.
This mess isn't her mess.
No.
So Schwartz calls Sandoval while Sandoval's doing his Vanderpump Rules
Hilarious.
interview. Okay, so they talk about fabric, and then Schwartz is like, "Oh, Katie didn't want to catch up. Like when she came to pick up the dog, she just left, and I did nothing wrong." And Sandoval's like, "Yeah, dude, you did nothing wrong. You were on
Ugh.
vacation." And Schwartz is like, "I know, living la vida loca." And then Schwartz thinks that Katie is blowing this kiss way out of proportion. She's more upset than she was when he actually cheated on her.
Sir, she was trying to
Sir.
like save your marriage. Like she was trying to not get
Sir.
so upset you guys couldn't come back from it whenever you cheated on her while married. This is showing her that you have absolutely no respect for her and she doesn't need to continue in any type of relationship with you.
I think
Like get it together.
I think you just said it best. She asked you not to do one thing. You
Yeah.
did that one goddamn thing.
You crossed the boundary she set.
You were
There are
living La Vida
consequences.
Loca. We're living La Vida Loca.
Fuck
Okay.
off.
Schwartz says if Sandoval and Katie even got married next week, he would support them.
And
Ooh,
this is really showing light that he will support Raquel and Sandoval if Sandoval wants to go do something crazy.
Hot. Okay. So then we go to the park with Charlie and Raquel. They're doing like it's a content day because we're just getting pictures of Raquel from a
Raquel,
tripod.
I bet never posted these photos.
No. Okay, so Charlie says she got invited to a brunch that Katie is having. And Charlie also brings up that she heard about the Raquel and Schwartz makeout, and Charlie thinks it's distasteful and that like she wouldn't even do that to her worst enemy. And it was Katie's anniversary weekend.
Which I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, remember?
Like I knew it was because of their dinner, but I didn't think about how like that was such a touchy weekend for this kiss to even happen on. Like, that's so shitty. I don't care if people are like, you guys are getting divorced. That's your first anniversary, not together. That's really hard for like somebody in your friend group to do that.
Dude, I agree. Okay, so Raquel basically is like, well, Katie came on this trip when she wasn't even invited.
I can't.
It's not my fault.
The excuses people make it like Katie's fault for their behaviors. I'm so sick of it.
Well, Charlie's like, there was still a 12-year relationship you have to expect. So Charlie says she'll still be friends with Raquel, but Raquel did a shitty thing. And Raquel says she's not going to date Schwartz. But then in her interview was like, I would totally date Schwartz.
Why are we saying like Raquel's talking out of both sides of her mouth at this point? I can't. There are 800 reasons why I hate her.
Same. So we find out Raquel and Oliver are gonna go on a date. He's in LA to see his son, and he's gonna pick out a spot to go to.
I can't.
Which I hated this when this was live. I hate it now. Okay, so now we go to Schwartz and Sandy's. The Toms are here. Schwartz knows that they are probably not going to open, even though they want to open, and he's upset. So then Brett gets here, and Schwartz is like, we're so light after our vacation. And Brett's like, that's fucking great. Here are the issues we had while you were gone. So I later put together, this conversation was a mess.
Yes.
But I later put together that Brett and Greg fired the chef.
Yes.
The chef, an intern. And it's because he couldn't keep up with the menu they had picked.
Yes.
So in turn, the whole kitchen staff left. And so they have no one in the kitchen.
Correct.
Okay, great. So there was also something about machines.
A machine broke.
And no one was going to replace it or something. We'd have to pay.
I think the guy with the machine also quit.
Yeah.
And Sandoval was like, why didn't you throw more money at it?
More money?
Like, that's not the solution here.
Brett literally goes, I'm sorry, how much money have you spent already? Like, how is
this
Brett
is what I really
budgeting?
realized, like, Brett is boots on the ground. Sandoval and Schwartz have no clue what's going on.
Zero. So Brett's like, listen, the most important thing is that we don't have a kitchen staff. Like, the dishes weren't good, so we had to fire, and now we don't have the staff. And Sandoval's like, we have to open, even if we serve potato chips.
Sir, okay, you do that.
At this
and see how
restaurant,
well it goes.
At the restaurant, we must open and serve potato chips.
So unrealistic. Why don't you just do the simple thing? How about you just don't go on vacation a million times into band practices and doing all these crazy things and focus on your fucking restaurant and get the menu set?
Literally just find a chef that can cook your meals. That is number one. If I went to a restaurant where I thought there was going to be food and there was no food, I'd be pissed. You give me potato chips.
And I think like liquor licenses are typically different. Like you have to say if you serve food or not because your liquor license might be different.
Yeah. Wild. Okay, so also we find out they are $1 million into this restaurant, and then Sandoval says he could lose his house, but more importantly, his mom's retirement.
This
I'm
reminds me
upset.
when Jen Shaw on Salt Lake City's
Her mom's retirement. I thought of the same thing.
Yes, I was like, I can never imagine looking my parents dead in their face and saying, "Give me $250,000 to open up a pipe dream."
You can't retire anymore.
And
Thank
I
you so
won't
much.
even work my ass off. I'm gonna start a
Yeah.
band actually in the middle of it.
Yeah, good luck. I'm gonna get my nails done. Okay, Brett's pissed because they have a guy that can't make anything in the kitchen, and it's not Brett's fault. And Brett's like, "Why don't you fucking come in here and do it?" And Sandoval
Yeah,
starts yelling, and he's like, "No one can be perfect all the time. Okay, performers don't go out there like they're fine with a B plus. Like no one performs in an A plus." And I'm like, "Sir, performers go out thinking they're gonna give it." So
they're
they get an
all.
A plus. Yeah.
I get the mentality of like, listen, we don't have to have the stupid little like
We can't be perfect. The
I don't know,
garnish
like
isn't
all
going to
the
be
things,
perfect.
like the
Yeah.
florals that could go in a cocktail. Sure, that shit can get cut, but you can't cut out everything.
You
Trim it
can't cut
down to
out
the
all of
basics
food.
and do that.
And you find one Taylor Swift concert that's less than an A plus,
I
sir.
mean, that is someone who will
Suck
perform
my
A plus every single
ass.
night for 4 hours. So yeah, get off. Come on,
So
Sandoval.
then Schwartz does this thing where he's like, "Hey guys, let's be friends. Let's not argue. It's okay. We're
He tells
fine.
them to basically put their hands in like he wants a hurrah.
Hey team." And then they laugh and then they are gonna take a shot. So
That'll help
like
everything.
fuck these men except Brett. Okay, so now we're at Tom and Ariana's house. They're at first I thought Ariana was just making a lunch sandwich, but then Katie's here, and I'm like, oh my god, we're making sandwiches for sandwich shop.
I love this, like a little
I
cheese
love it.
investigation.
Sandoval through his teeth, he congrats them on the lease and the cheap deposit that they're gonna have, and he's stoked. He's stoked for them, baby.
Man. They get the location, they get some equipment. Like this is easy breezy. Everything Schwartz and Sandy's isn't. I'm loving it.
He says he's jealous in a good way or envious.
Yeah. I mean, I would be no matter what, but like he's really hurting
Horrible.
without their restaurant open.
So Katie's like, "Yo, I saw Schwartz today for like 4 seconds." And Katie says she basically left right away. And Sandoval's like, "Oh my God, Katie, you're overreacting. The makeout wasn't even that big a deal. They're two single people who are decent looking and they decided to make out."
Like, no, okay, these aren't just two random strangers who met and made out.
It's not.
You're losing all the nuances of why Katie's upset.
The point is not that they made out. The point is she asked him, "Do not hook up in the friend group." And that is exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Okay, so Katie's like, "I told him not to." And Sandoval's like, "Who cares?" Katie's like, "Because now I have to deal with the aftermath." And he's like, "What aftermath?" And this is where Ariana's like, "Oh my God, like the aftermath," because now Katie and Schwartz aren't friends. And then Katie calls Raquel a whore, to which Ariana is like, "Not a whore, but I get it."
It is funny. Like Ariana and Sheeta has this problem, or like has to have deal with this sometimes where they're like, "Yes, I totally understand," and then they're like, "But don't say that. Please don't do this."
Ariana was like on her phone or like looking down when she's like, "Not a whore."
Yeah.
Goodbye. Like she just kept going.
She's like, "I am on your side until you make those comments."
Yes. So Katie says Schwartz has cheated on her before, so it's not shocking he did something he wasn't supposed to do. And Sandoval's like, it's fine, Katie. It's fine.
This conversation.
This is where Ariana's like, "No, it's not fine because they made a deal." And Sandoval's like, "What about Joe who stayed with Schwartz for 3 weeks?" And I was like, "Are you proving Katie's point now? What is happening?"
Yeah. What does that prove? How does that get Schwartz off the hook?
I guess Katie left Joe messages that made Joe cry, but Katie's like, whatever. He didn't mention she was staying with him, and then says that Joe was Kristen Doty's crazy friend. And if you're Kristen Doty's crazy friend, you're fucking insane.
Yeah, how is Kristen the normal one?
So after the divorce, Joe texted Katie, like she'll always love and respect Katie. And then she moved in with her ex. So like,
it's just
whatever,
people are like
Joe.
moving and shaking in weird ways around Katie, and she's not like, that's not cool. Like she's realizing what people are in her corner and what aren't. And if you're not in her corner, she doesn't need you. You can get out of the way.
So Sandoval's like, you and Schwartz should have healthy separation. And Katie's like, yeah, but he wanted to be friends, so we decided this together. And
Yeah.
Ariana's like, yeah, he's the one that wanted to be fucking friends. So he's the one that should fucking
Which
separate from
this
her.
doesn't kind of shock me the more I think
No,
about it. Like Schwartz being like, this is fine. Everything will be the same.
we're
We just
friends.
won't like have a romantic side of the relationship anymore. We
Yeah,
can stay
Bubba.
friends.
Yeah, Bubba, we're still friends. So Katie says she made the request. So if he doesn't want to follow the request, then he does not need her friendship. And then
No.
Katie says, hopefully no one does that to you. And it cuts to Sandoval's face. And I was like, ew.
I
Like the
like the
whole
weird
episode.
like comments that keep coming up where I'm like, wow, knowing what we know now.
Uh,
There's a
oh,
lot of them.
I know. So now we go to Sarah for See You Next Tuesday. This, I'm about to cringe a
I
lot. Okay.
hate this.
So first, Lisa says hi to James. James tells Lisa about Schwartz making out with Raquel. And James is like, it's fine. I expected it. Raquel hooks up with everyone. Sweaty Peter and now Buzz Button. I love, you know how, okay, I just not a political podcast, but I hate Donald Trump. But he always had those nicknames for Peter, like or for people like Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
It's like Sweaty Peter. That's what I
Oh
thought of. It was just
God.
Donald Trump of British and like
That's actually
James.
like that's true. Like the offhanded comments that they just pull out of nowhere are very similar.
Hilarious. Okay, so the Toms are also here. We're talking about how Schwartz used to be really good with words, but now he's really bad with words. And you know what?
What?
I feel that because I'm an idiot because even Schwartz is bad with words. I don't understand.
I don't
Facetious.
I don't believe he was ever good at words. I think he just pulls out random words.
I think he's charming. I don't know if that
By
means he's good
accident.
with
I don't think
words.
he
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
I
good
think
at it though.
yeah, I agree. So now Lisa joins them and she's like, oh, why are you guys at, sir? And then Raquel comes over to take their order and she's like, oh, is this why you're at, sir? And then Schwartz high fives Raquel in a
Awkward.
platonic way. And then Raquel's like, and then they're like, we wouldn't date each other. We just have fun chatting together. And that's where Schwartz is like, no relationship for me. And then this is where it got weird because it felt like Sandoval. I forget what
Oh,
he
this is
says.
where it got weird. You're saying the before wasn't weird?
This was the really weird part. I just wrote down, is Sandoval flirting with Raquel? So I don't know what he said, but he had that big ass grin on his face that even Lisa
Well,
was like,
he
why do you have
goes,
that big smile?
he goes, I can't hear you. Come sit down. And Lisa was like, no, she's working. So she sits in between them, which is just weird, anyways, whether anything did or didn't happen amongst these three.
Yeah.
That was barely a 2-person couch. 3 people squeezed in, and your server is squeezing in. So weird.
And Sandoval's face, he cannot look away from her.
He is a
He keeps
Cheshire cat.
smiling.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's that fucking cat. Yeah, from
It's
Alice in Wonderland.
massive. And he's just like,
Yeah.
his face is so close to hers as he's smiling. Yeah, I was not shocked that Lisa
Ooh.
pointed it out, but I clocked it too.
Yeah, I did too. So then Sandoval says he talked to Katie and he tells Raquel that Katie called her a whore. And Lisa's like, bro, why did you tell her that?
Yeah.
Lisa's like, you didn't have to. So Sandoval's like, actually, I'm going to tell her everything that Katie said. So Raquel's
No.
like, you know what? I always thought Katie was rude and bitchy. And then her interview, Raquel's like, I'm trying to grow and be a better version of myself. But a big robot block is people liking me and girls are draining my battery.
Okay, sure.
Fuck
I mean, I don't think it's
you.
right for Katie to call her a whore, but you also then just name called her too. Like, what is happening?
Also, girl, you had to know this wasn't gonna end well.
Yeah, honestly, like you should have
Katie,
expected. Not that it's right, Katie still shouldn't do it, but like
no, but
you should have
Katie
expected
cried.
Katie to be an asshole to you.
Katie cried to her twice and said, "Do not hook up with Tom."
Yeah.
The hell you
Yeah.
think's gonna happen?
Yeah.
So then, Raquel walks away. She's upset, and Sandoval's distraught. He's like, "No, Raquel, wait. Don't go
that was
anywhere."
the weirdest part in my
This
opinion.
was so weird.
Because he like
And then
calls her over and touches her shoulder, and she like
Yeah.
like touches his arm.
touches his chest, and then
Was it his
arm.
chest?
She
I was
did
just
like a chest and then an arm, and then she put it down, but he still had his arm there. And then he was
What?
just like, "Don't be upset. Like it's fine." And Oh, also Sandoval told them that Katie thinks that Raquel and Schwartz are fucking, or said like a comment like that.
Yeah.
So Raquel's really upset that Katie thinks that they're fucking. Because she's
Girl,
not,
you
she's
would
fucking,
if you could.
she's fucking the other Tom.
Yeah.
So then yeah, Sandoval like checks in with her. It's super fucking weird. And so then Lisa's like talking to Schwartz to take accountability for this.
I loved
And
that.
Sandoval's like so distraught that he upset sweet poor Rachel or whatever. He's like so upset.
I hate it. I hate
It
all of
was
it.
so weird. I did not know what to do during this scene.
I can't even imagine like my closest girlfriend interaction happening like this.
This was a whole ass car crash that I like couldn't piece together, but like I hated it.
And wasn't expecting.
No, it was bad. Okay, now we go to Lala's apartment. Christina Kelly and Katie and Allie are here.
Love this group. Love this
love
group.
Allie. I love her being
what?
included.
I love James in it, but I love him not there too.
I love James's girlfriend there because we still get like a little talk about James, but Allie's good. We got girls, okay? Because also, if Katie's hanging out with James's girlfriend, that means Katie and James are on good terms. And we all know that's my friendship.
And not too good of terms. You got to be better friends with the girlfriend.
Yes. Yes, she's doing it right. Okay, so tomorrow's Lala's birthday. We're gonna do something special because this is like a completely new chapter for her. So Lala invited everyone to her birthday party except Raquel, Schwartz, and Charlie. And then we find out Katie's gonna bring a man to the birthday party.
I can't
She's
wait.
Gonna bring Satchel. It's someone that Katie met out with her girlfriends. He's younger. She came for the D and stayed for the convo, and he brought her bowls back from Morocco.
I'm happy she's getting out there, but I really don't care about this man. I just love that she's happy.
Satchel, no, couldn't care less. But yeah, Katie used to be dating in private, and now she's out and about because fuck Schwartz.
Fuck his feelings.
So then we go to Villa Rosa, and the Toms were here with flowers, and I was like, weird. And then we found out that Rose, the baby horse, died, and it was really super sudden. So
I don't know why, but like this just cracks me up, and I don't mean it. I just like these things are so awkward that I just can't not laugh at it. I was talking about a mini horse. I know.
Here's the thing is Lisa's not like a main player this episode. So when things happen to Lisa, I'm like not ready for anything to happen to her.
I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry your mini horse died.
I wish someone was here when I figured out that those flowers were for Lisa because her horse died. It took me 1 second too long. I was like, why do they have flowers still?
I was so confused why they were so apologetic, and then I thought maybe they got their wires crossed and they both said that they were getting flowers.
I have no idea what was happening. Okay, but yeah, Lisa's very emotionally drained, but she's like, oh, we got to get to work. And I was like, no,
stop getting involved in this restaurant, Lisa.
So like Mexico was great, but we got to talk about opening by the 31st, which we aren't doing anymore because Craig and Brett fired the chef. So they lost the whole kitchen staff. And now I don't know how we got from that to I zoned because I hate this moment, but then we got to the Toms fighting.
Because Sandoval did his whole speech again, like we just got to get it open, it doesn't matter, like who cares about the food? And Schwartz is like, you keep saying that, but like there are some things we need to do. We can't just open it because you said open sesame today. Like we got to do some work. And Schwartz says, like, your actions and your words aren't aligning. You say you want this open, but you are not putting in the work that we need to get it open.
Yeah, you basically said the whole fight. I came in when Schwartz said that Sandoval's huffing and puffing, and I was like, what?
I see that. I don't think Schwartz is doing any action, but Schwartz is also not doing this like complaining thing.
Schwartz doesn't complain, right? If Greg's like, we're not opening by the 31st,
he's like, I see why.
But he's like, I get it, right? Sandoval, he gets really big and loud and stands up and yells in Schwartz's face, like, I'm doing shit. And Schwartz gets mad because he's like, you know what? You're not doing shit. You're going to band practice and getting your nails done when like we got shit to do at the restaurant.
We need to submit a menu and you're not doing this shit.
I like what Schwartz said. Like, you got back to me at 12:30 a.m. Like, you can't do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do at that hour?
I loved him calling him out and
That's my
bringing like
ass.
receipts, like giving
Yeah.
specific things that he's doing instead of focusing on the restaurant.
What I didn't love was A, Sandoval being so offended, and B, Lisa like yelling at Schwartz to stop yelling. I was like, there's a grown man stomping his feet around right now, and you're yelling at the guy who's making a good, valid point.
Holding his business partner accountable.
And then
this is the
Schwartz
only time I've ever been
apologizes.
proud of Schwartz.
Same. Schwartz apologizes though. So
Of course.
So we go to Tom and Ariana's house. This was weird too. Can we talk? Do we think this was one of the times
I think this was added in?
Tried to break up with Ariana?
No. That was like more recently. That was around Valentine's Day. But
oh, that's right.
I think they added this stuff in. I don't think that this really has any real value.
This wasn't original. Okay,
Yeah.
So we're at Tom and Ariana's. Sandoval's working on bar stuff, and then he's gonna head to the store for his healthy cleanse. And then we figure out that, like, so 2 years ago, Ariana froze her eggs. So Sandoval's gonna, A, I assume, freeze sperm, but B, also fertilize Ariana's eggs. So Ariana, though she still doesn't really want to be a mom, she doesn't like giving a biological clock any power. So she's gonna freeze her eggs. So good for fucking her. That's queen behavior.
Yeah.
And Sandoval's like, no worries, we got this. I'm gonna go fertilize your eggs. But he doesn't understand why he would fertilize her eggs if she didn't want to be pregnant. And Ariana's like, I still want to be pregnant. Could get a surrogate, sir.
But he says that in his interview. Like, if that's actually of concern to him, like, they need to have those conversations.
Yeah.
Like, if he really wants kids, then they need to have those tough conversations and decide if they want to be together or not.
Yeah.
So don't be confused in your interviews.
Don't be confused about something so big that she's been very open about.
This isn't like, I thought you didn't like chicken and you're eating chicken pad thai. This is like, what are we doing about our future?
Yeah, like, she froze her eggs. She's like, you should also fertilize. He then should be like, does this mean we're gonna have children? And she can say, maybe. I just want
doesn't guarantee
if we later want it. Yeah. Instead, he's like, I wonder what this means.
Yes.
So then they start talking about how Sandoval's very stressed and he doesn't handle stress well. And Ariana's like, well, you tend to drink when you're stressed, and maybe it would help if you like didn't drink.
Yeah, like find some healthier habits.
It's like a really good idea. And then he's like, but Ariana, I have to drink. And she's like, well, like, taking shots or not taking shots is not a hard thing to do.
It's so funny when you are in the drinking cycle, how hard it seems to stop. And then once you get away from it a little bit, you're like, wow, I feel incredible.
Yeah, honestly. Because, okay.
No shame in the drinking game, though.
No,
like,
we're in it.
To drink.
We're in it all the time. I love to drink. But also, I can step back. I understand what she's saying, right? Even though I love to drink.
Yeah.
I understand when she says, if you're really that stressed and unhealthy, you do not have to drink. That is just adding to that.
But I do see his, like, it's not right, but I do see his thing of like, I've said it to myself, like, oh, I need that drink because I'm stressed. Like, you get in this cycle where you feel like you do need it and it's like a crutch.
Yes, I agree. But then Sandoval is very upset because he then finds it very hard to talk to Ariana about stuff. And I was like, she's just giving you, like, you live in LA, dude. And that's like the number one place for healthy lifestyle.
This was a very like civil, constructive conversation. If she was like angry at him, I would understand his comment a little more.
She's not. She's just like, you don't have to take shots. And he's like
providing him solutions to his problems.
You are so hard to talk to, Ariana. And she's like, dude, we can have different perspectives.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just feel like when I explain things to you, you always take the other person's point of view. Like, I don't want someone to like have my back unconditionally.
He does.
But like, you keep questioning my intelligence and make me feel like an idiot. And she's like, I wouldn't date an idiot. Let's start there. And also, she says, if you were an idiot, I wouldn't be challenging you, basically.
I would be nicer to you, which I thought that was so funny. I kind of feel the same. Like, idiots, I'm like, oh, I feel bad for you.
Well, I'm more of like if you're an idiot, I'm just not going to give you any grief because, like,
there's no point in engaging.
You can't handle my intelligence. Why would I engage with you?
What I heard from him is, I want you to say I'm incredible. All my opinions are so smart, really intelligent, and I'm the greatest person you ever met, and everything I say is right.
You know, when you're supposed to ask someone, do you want advice or do you want someone to listen to? He always wants someone to just listen to him.
He does not want any feedback.
No, he's perfect.
And I need to be better about that. Like, I always try to provide solutions, but as like someone's life partner, like, why wouldn't Ariana try and make your life better when you're saying you're stressed? She's trying to help you.
I think Carl did this on Summer House and it was really good, right? He was like, what do you need from me?
Yes.
Do you want support or do you want advice?
Yes.
What do you
There
want?
was a great moment on Love is Blind too, where the guy just like let his partner have her feelings, and it like
that question can save everyone.
yeah.
But Sandoval says he feels like he annoys Ariana. She's like, well, you do that on purpose. And also she says they've been in a relationship for like 10 years. They're gonna annoy each other. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. And then he's like, oh, thanks. And I was like, the fuck was this scene?
I
The hell
really
was
think
it?
that this was added in because it kind
No,
of doesn't make
horrible.
sense except for Scandival.
Literally. Okay, then we go to Pomp. Lisa's here. She's meeting Garcelle and Oliver, and I love Garcelle. My first plant was named Garcelle. Hi, Garcelle. I see her right now. Okay, so Oliver's doing a really good job at work. Garcelle loves a Vanderpump rosé, hates the Rinna rosé. Just to throw that in there.
Nice dig we got thrown in there.
Lisa hates Lisa Rinna. Okay, so Lisa's like, hey, Oliver, the last time I saw you, you had some girls interested in you. And Garcelle's like, yeah, I saw a photo of you with 4 girls. And Oliver's like, it was a really fun night. And Lisa's like, I know, because you made out with Raquel. You had yourself a little snog. And Garcelle's like, oh, like she's like, whoa. And then so Oliver says he likes Raquel and he's going to see her while they're in town. And Oliver also says he's separated from his wife for a few months and they're working on co-parenting and they'll always be a family. And Garcelle, as we know, has been divorced twice. She had what's his nuts mom's Oliver's dad.
Yes.
And then she married someone else who was Oliver's stepdad. So Oliver has learned how to be a stepdad from that man, I guess.
Yeah, they have a good co-parenting relationship, second husband.
Then they talk about Lisa getting fucked by Ken, which was awful, but
so odd. Also, am I crazy or is my memory just incorrect? I swear when this all was coming out, like in the press when they were filming, that the Oliver stuff was announced, Raquel and Oliver had their date, and then this lunch happened.
Maybe.
Just saying. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
So we go to James and Allie's apartment. They're picking out outfits for Lala's birthday. James says he's been invited and disinvited to a lot of Lala's birthday. And Allie's like, oh, have you? Okay, so then Allie says last night she dropped a bomb while she was leaving girls' night.
I was like, ooh, what did she say wrong?
Yeah,
I thought she offended someone.
No, I was like, she said something scandy about James, and now we're gonna talk about it.
I was like, what shit did she get herself into?
I thought no, Allie here, fucking detective. She said that she saw Sandoval and Raquel dancing together at the Abbey after See You Next Tuesday at 1 a.m.
So it was after See You Next Tuesday.
After See You Next Tuesday.
That weird encounter we had at Sir. Yep. Jesus.
They went to the Abbey. They danced at 1 a.m.
This is why Allie, I think we would start questioning it.
Allie should have snapped a pic so fast.
I don't know what the Abbey is, but I wonder if it's like dark.
It's like correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's like a fancy hotel where there's like a bar and like dance and stuff. So James though is like, Raquel's hanging out with the Toms. It's not a big deal. And I was like,
he brushes it off.
I scream, I tell you.
Well, they all probably thought Sandoval was safe. Like, it's fine. She would never do that to Ariana.
Yeah, like wild. Anyway, so then we go to we bounce back from like Raquel and Lala's apartment.
Yeah.
So let's go to Lala's first. So Christina Kelly is here with flowers. It's Lala's birthday. First single birthday in a long time, and Lala wants to end with birthday sex. So if you're available, let her know. Also, we have so much to tell Christina Kelly. So drama. Oliver's wife sent a DM to Lala like about the picture they took and was like, ooh, Raquel's really leaning into Oliver. And Lala told her that Raquel and Oliver made out, and now Oliver is here to date Raquel in LA. And the wife had no idea. So Lala's gonna make sure Raquel knows that she's a mistress. And Oliver made out with Raquel, went home to his wife that night, and then slept with his wife.
I mean, this is so messy.
Yeah, so Lala knows the feeling. If it's in the gut, like this wife knows. So yeah, Raquel's going on the date tonight, and Christina Kelly's like, oh my God, and can you believe she called you a mistress? And Lala's like, I know. She's the mistress.
It's kind of funny how this like storyline is playing out where it's like Raquel says something and then she does it herself
She
and
does
it's
the
like
exact thing.
it's
Yeah.
insane. Like I give Raquel grace for that first kiss, but then like once you find out, you don't go on this date.
No, yeah, okay.
You cancel.
To Raquel's apartment, we have Sheena and Brock. And Lala's like, or not Lala, sorry. Raquel is like, oh my God, you guys, can you believe that this, like, so what happened was Oliver's wife basically took to Instagram,
His
and
Instagram, by the
his
way.
Instagram too, and said all this shit that he was cheating on her and blah, 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 and then called out Raquel by name.
It was
It was
social media
wild.
gold at
It
the
was
moment.
wild. I totally believe it. I think Oliver's a scumbag.
Me
So what do
too.
I know? Okay, so yeah, Raquel got a DM showing that the wife is posting stories, calling her out, and Sheena's like, "Oh my God, there's no way they're not separated." And Raquel's like, "I have this date tonight," and Sheena's like, "Maybe you should talk to Oliver or like maybe his ex," which I
Yeah.
thought was a good idea. I think it's wild. Raquel called her, but like, so Raquel calls. We don't hear the wife. She obviously did not sign the waiver, but
Yes.
Raquel says she had no idea and that it's fuck to do this to his wife, but also fuck to do to Raquel, okay? Which I was like,
I was like,
girl,
you're not
take
the
the
victim
no.
here. You and like you guys just kissed. If you guys had like had a full-blown like relationship, then yeah, he did something to you. But like you've just kissed. Simmer down.
Also, this is not about you.
No,
So
especially talking to the wife. You can tell your friends, I can't believe you did this to me. But to
yeah,
the wife, shut up.
the wife. So I guess the wife said Oliver was making promises to work on their marriage and they were still living together. And Raquel's like, oh my God, I'm gonna confront him tonight. And I was like, girl, just cancel.
No, you do
Also,
not
don't
need to
tell
do
the
this.
wife, don't be like, I'm still gonna go on this date with him to confront him
Yes.
for
She's like,
us.
I actually have plans with him tonight, so I'm gonna see him. But
Yeah,
I'll make
no
sure I
way.
talk to him.
I will be sure if there's one person that I do not think is gonna bring this up, it's Raquel. Also,
Jesus.
if this is my ex, I know how charming my ex can obviously be,
Yeah,
right?
well,
If it's
and now
Oliver,
you know I've kicked him
so
out. Like he's kind of open.
yeah, don't meet up with him.
No,
I want him to be the most single fucker
not
tonight.
give him the time of day.
No. Okay, so Raquel's furious at Oliver, and Sheena's like, I know it's hard to be labeled the mistress. You're always gonna be that girl because Sheena's always gonna be the mistress to Brandy Glanville.
I mean, if this shitstorm didn't scare off Raquel, I am like, it is so shocking to me. She kind of went through one bout of quote unquote being the mistress and still moved forward with Sandoval.
Where she actually was the fucking mistress.
Yes,
I
like
don't think
behind closed doors,
she was
like
not the mistress with Oliver, right?
no, but I'm just
Because
saying, like, people dragged her on social media. Like,
yeah,
she got to see a glimpse of what horror this could be.
like girl, we let you like test before you bought, and you still
Yes,
bought.
we gave you what the terrible like outcome would be of people knowing something of
We
this
showed you the
like
consequence, and you still did it. Okay,
insane.
so then we go out to Lala's birthday. We're at the Classic Cat. Lala looks super hot. Katie and Satchel are here. Um, I love. Okay, so Katie really likes Satchel. He's sweet. He shows her affection. He's the opposite to Schwartz, who basically we just saw yell at her in like
And
three
hate
different
her the
clips.
sound of her voice.
Someone said that was like, remember when Sandoval called Schwartz a battered wife? Flip that. Katie was the battered wife. And I was like,
Yes,
yeah.
it was not a good relationship ever.
Also, Satchel's dick works. So what a win. Okay, so Ariana comes in, she looks hot too. And then James and Allie are here, and James is pumped to meet Satchel. He's like, who's this dude?
Even when Brock meets him, he's like, "What's your
Yeah.
name?" Oh,
Brock's like, what up, my guy?
I'm Brock.
Satchel, you said? I'm Brock, the Australian rugby player or football player. Fuck yeah. Sheena even says, which I think was nice. Sheena says hello to Satchel. I think it'd be
Yes.
really rude if she didn't.
Yes.
But Sheena's like, this dude is
Sheena's saying what I'm thinking. So like, I just think it's so funny. She's like, what the hell? This guy looks like a dog.
Listen, Katie is hot. And I'm way fugglier than Katie. And I even think Satchel's a little fugly.
You know what? If she's getting laid and, you know, he is
so
doting on her,
yeah.
I love that for her. But it is funny.
That's the important thing to remember, right? Is like Schwartz, I think, is more attractive look-wise than Satchel.
I agree.
Schwartz is awful. So like Satchel's probably a step up.
And you know what? When you got to get back out there, you're not going to like for your first drive back and I'll be like, let me find the hottest guy ever. Like, what if you embarrass yourself a little bit, need some new skills? Like,
you find Satchel, you like Satchel.
When you're an injured baseball player, you go down to the minors and rehab. Then you can come back up.
Satchel's not that bad. Jesus hell, everyone. Listen, I only date fugly dudes. I love a little ugly. I do. I like a Pete Davidson like type. But I think Satchel's great. It was just so funny to be like, Sheena's like, who the fuck is this guy? That was awesome. Okay, meanwhile, Schwartz is having a bath. I thought he was gonna slip and die. This man does not know how to bathe.
I thought it was so funny that we just see like he's obviously naked, ready for this bath, and he's like, "Come in and film for this, please."
Oh, you have no other footage to use?
Or was Joe there with just like a camcorder, being like, "All right, get in the bath."
Joe's like, are we done yet?
Oh,
I hate it here. Okay, and then the Oliver stuff's brought up. So then we cut to the date with Oliver. I literally wrote, bet Raquel doesn't actually confront Oliver. Like, bet about it.
I didn't hold out hope for her.
I didn't have hope. Yeah. So Oliver brings it up. He's like, I don't know if you saw it. Like, how are you? And Raquel's basically like, I owe it to you to hear your side of the story.
No, you don't.
But also I talked to your wife and she's saying that you cheated on her with multiple people, including me. And Oliver's like, oh my God, no, we have been separated. I've been in my own place for 8 whole months. And he's like, sure, I would go over there to see my son and things would happen. And I literally wrote, this sounds like an episode of Teen Mom. Like that's what those kids did.
I was like sir, just because you're taking space and trying to rebuild your marriage does not mean you can have a free-for-all.
No, especially if you're on the town hoeing around and then you come back and you're like, my wife,
I love you tonight. Again.
Yeah.
Mixed messages. I like that Raquel did say, like, don't you think that's mixed messages to her?
Yes. So Raquel's like, where'd you stay that night that we kissed? And he said, my house alone. And she's like, your wife said that you had sex that night. And Oliver goes, not that night, maybe a few days later, though. And I was like, ew.
Still not good, sir.
Bro. So Oliver feels horrible. And Raquel's like, that doesn't make up for, the bashing I'm getting on social media. Raquel feels it's unfair how the situation was presented. And she's mad. And Oliver's like, I know my wife made it look a certain way and it's not that way. I was like, bro.
It's so insane to me that she's like, I can't believe he'd put me in this position, yet continues then to get into this exact situation with Sandoval. It just, I can't. Because she like says a lot of this stuff in her interviews while she is actively with Sandoval. That's what really bothers me.
Like she's actually a fucking mistress. Yeah, this is wild. So then whatever, this date wasn't ideal. We didn't get off on the right foot. Raquel leaves. But then she texts Sheena and she's like, I need to talk to Lala. Are you guys still at her birthday party? And I was like, don't do it.
I was so nervous about this.
Girl, don't do it. So now we're at Lala's birthday. Lala's so pissed that Raquel called her mistress because now she's the mistress. And then Raquel's outside and Sheena goes to meet her. And Raquel tells Sheena everything that happened. And Raquel's like, I really want to talk to Lala. Can I go in?
I feel like it's so important.
Sure. So I'm like, this is going to look really bad for Sheena, right? Like she walks in with Raquel. So whatever. It looks bad. Lala immediately looks at her and goes, what's up, mistress?
And dies laughing. I was like, wow.
Incredible. That was amazing.
Love this.
And so Raquel's like, I want to talk to you outside. Can we please do that?
Can you just hear me out for a minute out front, please?
And Lala actually goes, which is impressive. So as they're headed out, Katie's like, fuck Raquel, that dumb bitch. And Sandoval's like, you're getting a lot of joy out of this whole thing, aren't you? Katie's so vindictive. Oh my God. And Katie's like, yeah, you got a lot of joy out of Raquel too. 1 a.m. at the Abbey, huh? And I was like, yo,
I mean, again, also Sandoval, like you say you like this girl and you're so sad she's going through this moment, but you're gonna put her in this moment again.
sir.
Like, what is going on with these people?
Sir,
Can we
break up?
we study them scientifically because nothing is making sense.
Just break up with your girlfriend. It was so sad. Just break up with your girlfriend.
Katie
You
is
can
so
do it.
savage, though. I really enjoyed that.
I
You get a lot
loved
of joy out of her too.
I loved it. Between "What's Up, Mistress" and that line, I lost my shit. I was
Incredible.
so good. Okay, so then we go outside, and Raquel's basically like, "I'm sorry for crashing," and Lala's like, "No, no worries. You gave me the greatest big gift for my birthday, Mistress."
And like Raquel is like, "Oh, you're welcome." I'm like, "Girly, not a compliment."
She does that twice because she's like, "Oh, you're welcome for the gift." Anyway, and then apologizes for calling Lala a mistress. And is like her world got as like turned upside down. And Lala's like, "You guys better questions." And Raquel's like, "Yeah, that's why I'm apologizing, because the man can easily mislead us. And can you believe?" And Lala's like, "I know how it feels. And like Oliver will be fine, but the woman never recovers. Like she's always taken the brunt of
and she's like
Randall
lied to me. Even if you did ask the questions, he would have lied to you. Like, don't you see how different? It's not a cut and dry situation. Like being the person not in a relationship, helping someone, kind of quote unquote helping someone cheat on their significant other. It's not.
Yeah,
there's no lie detector.
To me, a mistress is when they have a wife and you still knowingly continue, or they're with someone and you knowingly continue the affair. Like in Sheena's position, she claimed she did not know about Brandy.
But like she could have investigated a little on her own. That's the thing where you are denying the truth or not sorting out the truth if you know something might be a little gray.
Yeah, I do think Sheena was probably a little bit of a mistress, but like I think obviously Eddie is the number one fucking loser. And the Randall situation, he could have lied and said like he did. He said, "Me and my wife are separated," and then continued to hook up with Lala. I think again, Lala just didn't do the research.
Yeah.
Which, like, sure, to the wife, you're always gonna look like the mistress. I do think Lala and Sheena just, believed the man.
Yeah.
Right? In this situation,
they didn't do their due diligence.
Yeah, this didn't happen long enough for Raquel to be like a mistress.
No.
She later becomes a mistress because she knows damn well what's happening.
Yeah, she's not a mistress here. She just had a man lie to her.
She will be, don't worry.
Yeah, and she's like, "Hold my beer. I'm not a mistress yet. Hold my beer."
Wait for it, Lala. Okay, so it's a learning experience for both of them. Lala basically says, "I don't want to beef with you," and Raquel's like, "Me either." So they're gonna rise above it. So Lala's basically like, "Raquel, I don't think you're a mistress, and no one should tell you that you are." And then they hug for a long time, and Raquel does not go back to the birthday party because she's not invited.
It's insane to me. Again, like Raquel says that this is a learning experience. I'm pretty sure she said that in an interview. Or even if she didn't, what did you learn from this, ma'am? Because you clearly didn't apply it.
I don't know. One of my main notes was, "It's hilarious how she goes to be a mistress. I'm dead."
This season is literally built and bred for Raquel being a mistress.
She went through this season and went, "I'm just gonna repeat all my
I'm gonna mistakes. Do it and make worse mistakes.
I'm gonna actually be she didn't follow.
That wasn't enough for me. Yeah, I need it more.
She followed through in the after season. Yeah. She's like, "You think I'm a liar in the season? Just wait. You think
I betrayed people in this group? No, let me do it let me one up myself.
Just wait. You're all gonna sit at BravoCon and not even know what's happening on that panel."
It's just so odd to me.
So next time we go to the beach, something gets in James's eye. Which I can't wait
a drop of alcohol dies. I literally cackled, and Christina Kelly, I think, also sees it.
He goes, "Ellie!" So then there's rumors starting about Sandoval and Raquel, and then there's this talk about Sandoval and Ariana having an open relationship, and then there's this talk about Sandoval not liking his relationship, and then Schwartz and James getting into it, and James chucking a drink in Schwartz's face.
Love. I can't wait.
Next episode's gonna be epic.
I can't wait.
We have accepted and blocked. Meredith, who do you want accepted into your life for the next week, and who do you want to block forever?
I'm accepting Lala. It's her birthday. I think she kind of like has a little redemption on like C like moment with Raquel, but she doesn't go like too hard at it, which I really appreciate too. Like Lala has learned from this, and like that's all she wants from people is like growth and maturity, you know, like learning from mistakes. And she truly believes here, I think Raquel is going to. So she kind of goes easy on her, saying like, this isn't 100% your fault. Like this is the man's fault, but you're going to have to go through a lot of this.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really sweet of her, even though it's not worth it.
Yeah. Don't waste your breath next time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna accept
on somebody who's worth it, waste your breath.
Fine. I'm gonna accept Katie. I think Katie had a good episode. I like that she's over this whole Schwartz thing. She's gonna do what she wants. She brought around Satchel.
Hell yeah.
She's fuck you, Tom Sandoval.
She's getting that dick.
Yeah, fuck Tom Sandoval for trying to like come at her. She's not having it. And then she looked him straight in the eye and said, "You find joy out of Raquel at the Abbey at 1 a.m. too."
Oh, the
fuck
best
you,
line
dude.
of this season.
I just think Katie, this is her. You know how they say like you have a villain era because we've stopped caring. I think but I think that's in the best way. She's going through like,
oh yeah,
like her Taylor Swift reputation era.
Yes, you know how Raquel said, "Oh, I'm moving on. I'm not like letting other people's opinions affect me." Raquel's not doing it. Katie is. Like Katie's like, you know what? I really held Schwartz's opinion in high regard in my life. I'm done.
Raquel's doing a like Kim Kardashian bootleg version of villain era.
Yes.
Katie's doing Taylor Swift's reputation. Yes. She's snaking it around.
And Katie looks incredible. Like her outfits, everything.
Amazing. I want Katie's essence. Okay, who are we blocking? There's a lot of options actually that
I'm done with Raquel. I'm not interested. All these little Easter eggs, I'm letting the Sandoval get involved, but like she doesn't need to sit in the middle of them. You're fucking working. Like you don't need to go to the Abbey at 1 a.m. with your friends, like life partner. Like you don't need to go on this date with Oliver when you know he's cheating on his wife. Like
fuck Oliver.
Come on. We're not 25 years old, Raquel.
No, we're 28. Okay, I'm gonna block Sandoval, not just because of the Raquel shit, although that is awful. It's the restaurant shit for me. We gotta open up, even if we serve a bag of chips. Do not serve me a bag of chips, sir. I will literally roast your ass on Yelp. Also, him like fighting with Schwartz at Lisa's was so inappropriate. Like, get your shit together. Stop spending your mom's retirement fund on this piece of flaming bullshit.
He fought with people who are kind of his yes man sometimes, Ariana and Schwartz, and this episode they weren't his yes man.
Yeah, like fuck you, honestly. I hate this man. You know what? Lala always said the woman's gonna bear the brunt of it. I agree.
No, not on this.
But I will come at Sandoval all fucking day long about everything he's done.
Yep.
Everything.
That is the one silver lining of this, I'll say Sandoval, is like the right amount of wrath is going to each person.
I mean, he recently did go off at some resort he was staying at or something.
Well, yeah. That's a whole thing. And like Raquel, I think, is also there, and he said he was going alone, and it's not a like mental health facility. It is a wellness resort.
Yeah, he said he was going there for wellness, which I get. But sir, in the height of Scandival, you cannot go somewhere and not. It was in poor taste, but was it fucking hilarious? Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Nobody feels sorry for you.
Also, though, go by yourself. Why are you going with Raquel? Like I'm over it. I'm over it.
My sister watched Watch What Happens Live. We recorded this episode while it was airing, and she her texts were dumb.
She has some notes.
No, she does not do well with notes, even though I asked her for them. But she said her thoughts on the Watch What Happens Live episode is that this is a Greek tragedy.
It is. It like is though. Like It is. People will forever remember Scandival. Like I said, I want to make a PowerPoint on like really at the beginning parts, but I really want to just like capture it properly.
Yeah.
I think it's just the absolute one of the craziest things to happen to Bravo
I
Like, I'm
agree.
trying to think of anything that matches up, and the only thing I can think of is Jen Shaw, but I think this is even
Oh my God, this takes the cake. Like Jen Shaw was the moment
bigger,
because it was all captured on camera. But
which was
like,
awesome.
but yeah, that has been eclipsed by this scandal. Here's one thing, one text that does make sense. That is, this is going to make me go watch the episode. She
Okay.
said they counted the top 5 cringe moments from the episodes, and they are going to start doing it every single week on Watch What Happens Live. And Andy said that every episode it only gets worse and worse.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Like,
Well, I just looked up the
insane.
biggest scandals to ever hit Bravo. They have the Joe Judice juicy fraud case.
Oh,
That was big,
but it
but
wasn't really on the season either.
yeah,
Or it kind of, well, I guess it kind of was. She did go to jail, but they took a
it wasn't like, I think because social media was not what it is today.
yeah.
And also, no one painted like Teresa or Joe. Like, we were starting to paint Raquel as the hero. Like, we were like, this is her season. And then she fucked it up. Thomas Ravenel and his charges. Nah, that wasn't that big.
Not really.
Countess
I mean, like there's
Luann.
scandals for sure, but not this level.
Listen, Countess Luann, that was great. I love a good housewife one. Um,
These are all moments in time where like it dropped, there was news for maybe 1 or 2 days and they go away. This is
yeah,
weeks.
like it was on E! News. Yeah, Sandra Morgan or Son. What am I saying? Sonia
Sonia.
Morgan. Jesus, I'm so tired. Jax Taylor's cheating scandal. I don't even know why that's a
Oh,
scandal. We fucking knew it was gonna happen. Oh my God, Kelsey Grammer. That was hilarious.
oh,
Danielle
yeah.
Stubbs' book. It wasn't big enough. There wasn't
And
enough.
it all happened like it played out. You didn't hear about it before the episodes dropped. It played out in the episodes, a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff. And so it's just not the same.
And old, oh my God, Denise Richards hooking up with Brandy Glanville. That's again not a scandal though. We got no confirmation, so who cares?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
these are
gossip.
stupid. It's just,
This, yeah. But I can't
uh,
wait for the rest of the season. I think we have a few more episodes until the reunion.
I think the reunion is the 17th, May
I've heard that too, but I
17th.
think that's the finale episode, is what I've
Okay,
also heard.
dope. Dope. I'm gonna make my parents watch it. I'm gonna be home.
I can't wait.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Thanks for joining. Bye.